At Startup Point, our tradition is really to start from the beginning. So could you tell us where you're from and just give us a summary of your background?
From Mwanza, Wapla.
Yeah, welcome.
So anyway, I'm a Zambian. Both parents being Zambian. My father coming from Wapla, northern. My mother coming from Wapla, so I'm a fully-fledged Bemba. Whether that is good or bad, I don't know. So yeah, and unfortunately, I grew up for many years without knowing who my father is. So some of you who have this thing of, your father died, this and that and that and this. Well, you are talking to somebody who never met the father. So unfortunately, he passed on when I was like 26, but we never met. Okay, so yeah, and that inspired me in a way, because every time I woke up, I told myself, I must succeed, and one day he must see me and face me. Unfortunately, he never got to see me. So yeah. Besides that, I went to school, Lusaka boys, Kaplonga boys, what we used to call Camps campus. Those of you at Kaplonga boys, the Zanzibar, where we used to buy the drinks, the bread with all the jam and full of bees, and yeah. So I grew up in that environment, and so I didn't come from a privileged family. I was raised by different people, aunties, grandparents, uncles. So I trotted around with the family for a while. And at Kaplonga Boys, I remember one of the things that I vividly remember is, because when you go to Zanzibar to buy your lunch, this is a drink that is 75% is water and probably 10% is just a juice. So it's colored water with sugar in it. And then I was appointed acting head boy. Then I told myself, how can I be going to Zanzibar as acting head boy? So that created a challenge for me. So every lunchtime I made sure I picked up one of our naughty boys, got his bag and punished him and gave him money to go to Zanzibar to buy lunch for me. So from there then I before I went to college, I went to NIPA to do accounts. Then we had AAT, Association of Accounting Technicians, which I did up to level 3. And within that period, I got a job at Standard Chartered Bank. And believe me, I got a job at Standard Chartered Bank. No, before Standard Chartered Bank, I got a job at Cooper Zambia, which is Africa Health. 1 week after I finished my grade 12. And I knew somebody who was the general manager at Cooper Zambia, and I went to him and I said, I need a job. I've just finished my grade 12. I have nothing to do. Can I get a job? He said, come on Monday. And I went to Cooper Zambia on Monday, highly expectant. And then he just took me and he called somebody and said, oh, this is David. Can you give him that job? Put him in the team. And this person took me and they took me to a factory. There were only old people there. None of them had even had grade 7. And there was one guy who had grade 12. And they gave me boots, those jumbos. They gave me a duster coat from here to my legs. And they gave me to cover my head. And they said, you now need to work and start stamping on these things. So I started working manual work in the factory. So I didn't mind. I took the job. And then they said to me, oh, so you have grade 12, right? I said, yes, you have grade 12. So what are you planning? I said, well, I'm thinking that one day even in Muzaba Kalapa. 9 grade 12. 3 years. And then when there's no work, they will make us slash outside. So we'll be slashing outside, slashing outside. I did that job for 3 weeks. And then I changed and went into a tie and a suit and then I started Chartered. Then I went back, I told them, oh, I've left, I'm going to Standard Bank now. And they're like, no, I'm fine. So I went. I worked at Standard Bank for 2 years and then I left. When I left Standard Chartered Bank, I had no job. I started Tamangali. And that is where the history starts from there. Because I had no job, I had a wife, I had a kid, and I needed to make money. But when I started Standard Chartered Bank, I started using my entrepreneurial skills. I realized that when you buy US dollar, those days, remember we didn't have Coca-Cola and Mosi, Castle, what, we had duty-free shops. So I realized that if I got $1 and I went to Katondo Street to change, I'll make a little bit. But if I got the same dollar and I went to the duty-free shop and I bought Castle, canned Coke, Fanta, canned drinks, and I supplied Melissa Supermarket in North Mid those days, I'll make 100% profit. So every day when I knocked off from Standard Bank, I went to the duty-free shop and I would deliver cans of drinks to Melissa. And that is, I set up a company called Kombe Enterprises at the time. And yeah, that's actually what got me to travel and left Standard Bank. Because I found myself doing that and I got used to doing it. So I started practicing my entrepreneurial skills then. And I was only like 22, somewhere there, when I was doing that kind of a thing. So that's how the whole journey started. So when I left Standard Bank, I needed a job, and yeah, I had to find something to do.
So after you left the bank, and obviously you didn't have a job, you needed money to manage your family, what happened thereafter?
I used to be involved a lot in tennis. So at one point I had an opportunity to travel on a tennis trip. So I made a little bit of some dollars. So from there, then I decided that I go to Zimbabwe to buy some shoes. There used to be a company there called Conte Shoes. They used to make very nice, smart, casual shoes and stuff like that. Because at that time in Zambia, we only had Bata. Bata was like the biggest thing. So all these other shoes, they were like imported shoes. So I would come from Zimbabwe and I would sell those shoes. Then the challenge came in. After I sold the shoes to the boutiques, what next? Because they were not paying up front and they were not paying on time. So they would say, okay, you come after 30 days to get your money. So I'm waiting 30 days to get my money. In the meantime, I need to eat. And there's no money. Okay? So within that period, when I started waiting for some payments, I had a friend of mine who was doing some songwriting business. So I said to him, look, you do this business, you're good at songwriting, but I have some people that I know, because I know people from tennis. I used to play a lot of tennis. So I know a lot of chief executives, directors in tennis. Can I help you so that, we can get some business and then you give me a commission? And then he agreed. So I'll go out and try and get a few businesses here for banners, this and that. And then when I get the business, he'll give me some commission and stuff like that. So eventually then it came a time when we differed, because something happened and I wasn't happy with it, and I said, no, I can't take this. Then I left him. I said, I can't do this anymore. So from that point, then I went on and registered a company called D&C Billboards, and that was 1991, July. I think I was about 24 at the time. Then I got one small office near Soweto Market, the same Soweto Market you see today, just near there. One small office. Then I employed 3 people. to come and work with me. I didn't know how to do the work. I just knew that I was good at talking and selling the service. So when I got the service, I got the job, and these guys would do the work. I personally, I didn't even know what and how they used to do it. I would just give them the artwork, and then they would do whatever they needed to do. So that is how what you call now Blackdot started. Behind Soweto Market, in a one-room place with 3 Sunwriters. And we worked in Soweto Market there for about 3 years. Then I said to myself, I need to move a bit. And then I moved into town, got myself an office at Anchor House, 3 rooms. And while we were at Anchor House, some people came and approached me, some of my clients that I used to give some services, and they said to me, we needed a TV ad to be done. Can you do a TV ad for us? I said, yes, I can. Then they said, okay, give us a concept, what. Then I sat down, I said, okay, what a TV ad now? How do you do this thing? Who do I talk to? So I have a friend of mine in Sweden, Angala, and I said, Sweden, I've got some clients, they've approached me for a TV ad. I don't know anything. You know these things. How can we do this? Sweden said, David, how much is it? I said, this, we agreed. He says, we'll do it for you. Sweden mobilized the people, the cameraman and everybody. The concept was done. I went, presented the client, the concept. The client, I was happy with the concept, approved the concept. We shot the TV ads, the client was happy. It moved from 1 TV ad, 2 TV ads, 3 TV ads. Before I knew it, I told Sweden, thank you for your help. I now know what to do. And then some people came approach me, they wanted some press ads. I didn't know what to do with press ads. Again, I went to some very brilliant creative guy. I said, I need a press ad done. And then he did some works for me, he did a couple of works. So I started building my clientele base from there. One day I decided, no, I need to bring my own computers and everything. So I invested in computers. And then I employed the same guy now to come and work full time. Before I realized it, we had become a fully fledged advertising agency. And unfortunately, I had now to let go the Sunwriters because I didn't need them anymore. The business had evolved from Sunwriting to full house advertising. We're doing radio, we're doing TV, we're doing all sorts of things. And I told my Sunwriters, I said, guys, it's time for you guys to go on your own. I won't need your services. So that is how Blackdot started. And yeah, today we are about 27 years now. 20 this year, 27, 26. Somewhere there, I'm not sure, I stopped counting.
Is there anyone below 27 years old? Oh, that's amazing, Mr. Kombe. During your journey, did you ever consider giving up? What kept you going?
There were many times that I would have given up. There were many times that I wanted to go back and look for formal employment because there were many times that I slept without food. During that period, when we just started the business, it was very difficult. As a startup, one of the things that you face is the issue of trust. People don't trust you because you don't have any experience, you don't have any profile to show, so they have to trust your words and believe that you can do it. So certain organizations, especially the big guys, they would never want to risk their reputation and business to give a Kantemba guy, because basically we're Kantemba. They would never want to do that. They would always want to go to Young and Rubicam and all these other companies. So I had to earn that trust. I had to make people believe that if they give me a job, I'll deliver and I'll do it. If you ask me how many times I walked from Chawama, which was my first place I went when I left my uncle's house, I got a one-room house in Chawama. The only thing I looked for was that it had electricity, and I said, "There's electricity, fine, I'm moving in." And we used to call it self-contained. It was a self-contained. Just one room, that same room had the TV, the fridge. There was no sofa, no nothing. You know, all the basic necessities in that small room. That's where my wife and I started, and that's where our first born was born. Our first child was born. And believe me, if you ask me where snakes used to hide or rats between shawarma and Soweto Market, I would tell you. Because I walked that route 1,000 times. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. It wasn't easy. It wasn't like there's money for you to jump on a taxi, but you just keep going every day. Some days were good, some days were bad. But what kept me going is those few good days when you go in and suddenly you got a small job, then you realize, okay, so I can make a bit of money. Let me just try and push and push. So those few days keep you, they keep taking you back. Because then you realize that there's something here, there's an opportunity here. Then you keep going back. And it took long. Until, after then you were able now to jump on a minibus or a taxi, things like that. But I would say it was perseverance. And it's something that every individual requires. One of the biggest challenges that startups have, especially people in formal employment have, is that if they want to go into business, 1 month of no food, they feel they've suffered. They've really suffered. And they can't take it. And depending on the kind of spouse they have, I'm not saying wife. I'm being gender sensitive here. I'm not saying wife. I'm saying spouse. Not can really be man.
Many times it's men.
Yeah. So depending on the spouse that you have, you find situation where the spouse just says, no. We can't go on like this. Just go back, get employment. This thing is not going to work. But if you are lucky for a good spouse who says, okay, let's keep pushing, then you keep pushing. But so, you need perseverance. If you're gonna go into business and you not just business, in anything that you do in life, you need to persevere. You need to understand that it will take time for it to grow. It will take time for it to mature. It just doesn't happen. You start business today, you get a big order, tomorrow you're driving a car. It doesn't just happen like that. Unless you're in drugs or you're selling fire tenders. Otherwise, it doesn't just happen.
I think your story is really a true testament of what I think I've heard in the Bible say, do not despise the days of humble beginnings. Blackdot is considered one of the most innovative and highly energetic media communications companies right now in Zambia. How did you achieve that?
I think the first thing is that, you see, when you start business, you need to have a vision of where you want to be. And you must have a long-term vision. One of the mistakes we make is that we always have short-term vision of things that we want to do. Most of us, and this is a common Zambian problem. Somebody wants to start business today, and tomorrow they want to move into bigger offices, they want to buy cars, so they don't understand that, business needs to have a sustainable strategy beyond a big order today, beyond some job that you've gotten today. You need to understand and have a vision that is long term. So when you have a vision that is long term, then you are able to control yourself, including control your desires as an individual. Yes, we all want to drive nice cars, live in nice houses. We all want to take our kids to good schools and things like that. But at whose cost? A startup? That can't happen. So I always tell people, if you leave employment, and this is a very common thing, somebody is a director in a bank, When they're working for the bank, they've got a car, a nice house rented for them by the bank, that. When they want to go into business, they want to maintain the same lifestyle. At whose expense? The small little business that you've started and you still want to drive this car and rent this big house and it doesn't work. So, if you're going to go into business, you need to adjust. Even if you were managing director of a big corporate organization, you need to adjust. You need to put your priorities right. You need to reinvest resources into the business. And when we talk about resources, we're not just talking about physical cash, but we're talking about even technology, people and systems and things like that. You need to understand that for the business to grow, you need to generate these revenues and you need to plow them back. So you need to put your desires and your good life a little bit on the hold for a while. So you need to sacrifice. And believe me, I'm not saying sacrifice to the point that you are wearing torn shoes. No. But you need to understand that whatever money you take out of the business, that money will not come back. It won't come back. Okay? So in our business at Blackdot, I have a salary, and everybody knows the accountant. I get a salary. I don't just wake up and say, guys, I need to do this today, give me money. No, I have a salary. If I need money, I'll say, give me an advance. They'll give me an advance and I'll pay back. Or give me a loan, or whatever it is, but I'll pay back. So these are some of the things that you need to understand. If you're going to grow your business, you need to sacrifice. That is very, very important. If you don't sacrifice and you still want to live a lavish life, then you will not sustain your business. I had a friend of mine in those days of Potiko. He made a deal. He lives in Livala, actually. Livala. I'm not sure if he still lives there, but he was in Livala. They made a deal, and then the first thing he did, he went and bought a very expensive car. So we asked him one, he said, but you, why are you buying an expensive car? You are renting a house in Livala, and you're buying an expensive car. And his answer was, but will people see my house? Can I move, if I build a house, can I move that to Potiko? Will I bring my house to Potiko? So that mentality kills business. Because you are doing things for people to see that you are successful when you are not. You are just starting up. Be realistic and be real to yourself. Don't do things so that people suddenly can talk about you, celebrate you, and say all sorts of accolades. And then, but when you go back to your office, you are in deep debt, you are in deep problems, but you want to give a false image to the public because you think that success is judged by what people see. It is not. Some of the most successful people are quiet. You don't even see them. You don't even hear about them. But they are very successful. So you need to understand that element. That as an individual, you have your own journey. You have your own destiny. So don't get carried away with what others are doing. If your friends are buying expensive cars and doing all sorts of things, don't do that. Lead your own life and lead your own destiny. You will get there. And trust me, the time you land, your friends will be packing up. And I've seen that in my life. Some of the people that I looked up to and I envied now walk into my office and ask me for favors. And I look at them and say, because you looked at people and you thought that is what success entailed. And you wanted also to do the same thing. So, yeah.
So, looking at Blackdot, I see a lot of young people working for you. How do you motivate your staff to achieve your goals? And was that very intentional, having a certain age group?
Yeah, because you see, in the industry, in particular Blackdot, the industry calls for young, innovative, creative people, creative minds who are energetic and who are in touch with the current, marketing trends, the current social trends. If you ask me about Facebook, I know nothing. Okay, I'm not even on Facebook. I'm not on Twitter. I don't exist. So you see me here, this is what you get. You look anywhere else, you never find me. So for me, I find that there's a lot of, the young ones are a big asset because they're in touch with the current trends. So they bring certain knowledge that I'm not able to understand. When they're talking of the new ways of advertising and the new ways of communication, I just look at them. Nowadays, they will even tell you, I don't even attend their brainstorm sessions. I never participate. Because I'll just spoil the whole day. And they'll look at me as old-fashioned with old ideas. So I don't participate in any of those things. The only thing I do in the office is say hello to everybody, hello. Okay? So, how do we motivate them? One of the things is that, and they all know, they have the free will to make decisions. They make their own decisions, they come up with these ideas, and they do them without interference. Sometimes I just see things on TV or radio and wherever, and I'm just like, was that ours? Say, yes, that was ours. Oh, brilliant. I never get involved. So they have the power to make decisions. They have the power to decide what is right, what is wrong. They have that power given to them to be creative, to explore their full potential. Amongst themselves, they decide what is right and what is good, what is what, and they go with it. And for your own information, because now I'm 50, so I decided that advertising for me is way too advanced. So 31st March is my last day at Blackdot as a managing director. So I have already appointed somebody who is young, very young. I think she may be just about 20-something to 30. And she's already got a letter of appointment as the new managing director of Blackdot. And I'm just going to go and now look at other things. Because I believe that you must pass on the skills to the young. If you're going to sustain your business, you can't be there until you are moving with a stick. You must have the belief and the trust that the people in your team can do the job better than you. And if you can even see them do the job better than you, give it to them. Let them do it. And that's what I've done. So, yeah, come this month and I'm saying bye to them and then they run with their new boss and who is young also, and they can chill together, they can speak same language. So you groom people. All you need to make sure is that they've got the skills and the leadership skills to be able to do the job. And I believe that we've got a very good team at Blackdot that can do the job. They don't need me. Okay? They don't need me, they'll call me.
You might just be getting calls every day. No, I'm just joking. But it's really good to leave when you're relevant. Most startups in Zambia complain about capital being a challenge. And it's a great challenge, I think, to many companies. To what extent does lack of capital affect entrepreneurship in Zambia?
Yeah, the issue of capital is a very dicey issue because the first question is, what is capital? Is it the physical money that you're talking about? Because capital is in various forms. If you are a qualified accountant, or you've got a degree in business administration, or you just have a degree in IT, that is your capital. You already have your capital, so you don't need the money. Okay? Your skills are your capital. If you are a teacher, you have that capital ready. All you can do is say, I want to start a school. I cannot build. Let me start from home. I will use one of my bedrooms. Every Saturday I'll be doing tuition, 15 kids. From there, then you rent a place. From there, you build your own. That's how life goes. Most of the people think for them to start business, they need to have physical money or a lot of money. And so they use capital as an excuse. So I don't believe, I didn't start business with capital, by the way. I didn't have money. What I had was determination and just the idea that I needed to do something. And that pushed me. That's why I went to a friend who was doing something. I didn't sit there and say, until I find money, then no. I went to somebody and I said, can we work together? Okay? So, yes, for certain businesses, capital, yes, is required. If you're going to go into manufacturing or production or other things, yes, you may need capital. But here's a tricky thing. The current research that I have done, and which has been done by many people, shows that actually capital is just like 15% of the boundaries that we actually face. The biggest challenge that entrepreneurs face, the number one challenge, is attitude. Our attitude towards business. That is the number one challenge. We think that for us to start business, first of all, we must have a lot of money. So we push it aside. Even when money is given to you, most people, like I said, they get the money, the first thing they go and do is buy a car. When you ask them, no, I needed transport. Okay, yes, you needed transport, but did you need a BMW? Yeah, but no, you needed transport. So, you should have just bought a Corolla, something that can move from A to B to help with your business. So, our attitude affects our business. The second thing that affects us is we don't want to invest in that business. If you're going to start business in IT, you must invest time and resources to learn about IT. You can't go to people, start talking about IT and expressing your ignorance. You're talking to people who are learned. Invest in knowledge so that you are able to go and face somebody confidently and talk to them and they can believe you. I had a situation one time. I was doing a lot of work for Zambia Investment, what was it called? Zambia Investment Center. And the director of the current Minister of Finance was one of the directors. And there used to be Mr. Lintini, he was also one of the directors, and Dr. Oyana was the director general. And one day, Mr. Lintini comes to talk to me, he says, David, did you go to Harvard? And I said, Harvard? Which Harvard? No, I thought maybe you went to Harvard for university. I said, no, Mr. Lintini, I was at Zambia, here. Tell me, what made Mr. Lintini think I went to Harvard? It's because the moment I started doing advertising, coming from a financial background as an accountant, semi-qualified accountant, I had to read books about advertising. I had to learn terms. I had to learn processes so that when I face a client, I can talk to them about the advertising like I went for it. In university, I trained for it. So you need to do that. If you're going to succeed in life and in business, you need to invest in knowledge. That is key. You need to do that. The other thing that you need to do is ensure that you've got the right people working for you. One of the problems we have is I started Kantemba and I call a friend. My friend probably doesn't even have any qualifications. And I just saw my sister, mostly sister, brother, family business. Yes, there's nothing wrong with you working with your brother or your sister or your cousin or whatever it is. But do they have the qualifications to work with you in that business? Are they adding value to your business? Or are you just keeping them there so that they can be getting money from the business? If you want to work with your brother, then help him to go and be trained so that he can have value, he can add value to the business. So we tend to always surround ourselves with those we feel we are comfortable with, even when they're not adding any value to you. So if you're going to go into business, find strategic partners that will add value to your business. If you are a guy who is in IT, find another guy who knows about IT or something associated to IT, or get somebody who has accounts, financial, so that he comes and works on the books with you. While you are doing this, he's also doing the financing. The two of you form that partnership. You must understand there's a difference between a drinking buddy, the one you drink with every day in the pub, and the business partner. You don't have to like the business partner. But if he's your business partner and he's got the skills that you want, that's the guy you must go for. If you think your drinking buddy, the one you spend time with over the weekend, will make a business partner for you, you are wrong. Let him be the drinking buddy. That way, you don't spoil relationships. And you can continue drinking with him. Don't share secrets with him, because he will discourage you. Okay? He will tell you, this thing will never work. You deal with this thing. So, those are some of the things that cause businesses to fail. Not so much capital. But again, we have a culture. You know, our upbringing, we brought differently. Some of us have been brought to believe that we can't succeed. If your family is poor, you believe you will always be poor. If there's no one with a degree in your family, you believe that's the way it's supposed to be, even you won't have a degree. If your father's business started and failed, you believe, even me, this business, my father did this, it failed, it was my father. If your father's failure is not your failure. Okay, that was his failure. It doesn't mean that you also fail. So you need to think about yourself as an individual and change your thinking. Have a positive mind as to really what do you want to do in your business and run with that you want to do. One of the other problems that we face in business is that we don't remain focused. You can see from Blackdot. Blackdot started off from 91 as a signwriting. That is part of marketing. It's part of marketing. So it simply graduated from one form of marketing to another form of marketing, but still remaining in marketing. I did not say, no, we are doing now signwriting, these signs. And you know what happened, by the way? Some years after that, Zambia opened up to these big outdoor companies who came with big billboards. And that killed us. Because we used to do this signwriting. And these big billboards from South Africa came with vinyl. And they put a full nice color. And you look at it like, wow. Then now you are doing signwriting. How do you compete with these guys who? But fortunately, I had some faithful clients. One of them was Zambia Brothers. So one time, we had, I don't know if those of you, I know most of the men who drink, you had Orsons, The beer Orsons. Just near Lusaka Golf Club there, Orsons put up a big billboard. And he said, what else can be better than this? Big! So we went back and we went and put up a small billboard. 3 meters from Orsons. So you see Orsons first, and then you see the Mossy billboard next. Behind it. And it just says Mossy, of course. And it was handwritten. So when you read it, it says, "There, big board, what else can be better than this?" The next billboard says, "Mercy, of course." It was a classic. One of the fondest memories that I have in my advertising career. So you need to remain focused. If you're going to start a business to do hair salon, focus on that. Or if you're going to expand in a line that is related. Hair salon, okay, wigs, shoes, ladies stuff, one-stop shopping thing. But don't move from hair salon to beans. Okay? The two are different. The next thing I say, no, I'm going to, where they buy beans? This Nakonde. No, every Friday I go to Nakonde to buy beans, and then Monday I'm in the salon. You break your bones. Focus and look at your business and related businesses, related lines. How can you expand that business? So if you're in IT, you can be doing computers. Next you start selling hardware. You start doing programming. Next you start doing fiber. Next you are still in the area of technology, but you are expanding. Okay. The next thing we see is, you're doing internet service now, but you are still in that business. So don't start IT. Then from IT, no, I want to set up a restaurant for Shima there. Then I want to do. It doesn't work. Okay? Remain focused on what you are doing until a certain level that your business has matured and you can now diversify or open another one, which may be totally different. But you must allow your business to mature so that it can be able to pay your bills, stand on its own, instead of you sharing or splitting that capital so thin that everything you touch collapses. Because you got 100,000 kwacha, you put a 10 pin here, a 15 pin here, a 15 pin here. At the end of the day, there's nothing that is working out. The other thing that will help you in business, look out for opportunities. Partnerships. For us as Blackdot, the biggest break came about 96 when we became part of Saatchi Saatchi. We just didn't want to remain a local agency, but we told ourselves we need to be international, to be recognized as an international agency. So we took deliberate steps to find big agencies in the world and see who we can work with. And then we went into affiliation with Saatchi Saatchi, and we changed our name from D&C Advertising to Saatchi Saatchi. And that just changed the entire perception of our business. The customer confidence levels improved. We started having international clients coming in because they looked at us now as different as being international, but still in the same business. So even for you, when you start business, look at opportunities. Either the opportunities for partnership or opportunities for affiliation, but look for opportunities where you can tap into skills from other experienced companies that are in the same industry. You can tap into their knowledge, their financial base, their clientele base. Okay? They don't have to have shares in your company, but if they can give you access to good clients, to good training. This is why Blackdot is innovative. We send our team every time to South Africa for training, to London. That's why they're innovative. Because we expose them to the best in the world. We take advantage of us being international, of being part of Publicis to train our people. So whether I get clients from Publicis or not, it doesn't bother me. I get training, which is very vital for me. Because when the guys do something, it's different, it's unique, it's good. Okay, so and it's positions us very different from everybody else. So look at those things. There's no point in you owning 100% 100% of 100,000 kwacha, and you are boasting, this is my business. And people say, oh, let's see what, it's 100,000 kwacha, 100% ownership. Man, you can have 20% of 5 million. You are better off, even if it's 20%. Do your maths. 20% of 5 million is 1 million. But it's 20% instead of you being 100% ownership. Yandi. You know?
That's interesting, Mr. Kombe. Obviously, over time you diversified, you went into manufacturing as well as insurance. Can you speak into that, and how did you decide what to invest in?
The diversification of the business. First of all, I think the first business that we diversified into was outlet marketing. And that came about because there was a need on the market from game stores. When Mwanza was being opened, you know, the South African retail outlets, they do what they call knock and drop in South Africa. It's part of their biggest promotional services. So they needed that in Zambia. There was no one doing it. So as usual, they asked me, can you do this for us? I said, yes, I can. Just tell me what, where, and we set about it. That's how it was born. Believe me, we've had that contract with game stores since 1999.
Oh, wow.
Since 1999. To date.
Oh, wow. That's
one
amazing.
contract.
That's good.
So now, when Outlet was growing at some point, we grew the clientele base, and we had a lot of South African companies coming on board. But then we started having competition. Some people came in and stuff like that. And our knock and drop business started being affected. So we said, okay, we've got the network, we've got people, we do distribution. Then we said, okay, let's start looking at distribution and stuff like that. Then we started distributing products. So we went into agents agreements with some manufacturers. We started distributing some detergents. We started distributing some other products, Imara soups and other things, South African products. We started distributing this to the retail outlets. We started bringing rice from Thailand and distributing. We said, okay, let's grow it as a distribution company. And then we have started having challenges in that distribution thing. We realized, no, maybe we need to start making some products of our own. So then we went into manufacturing. Now we make Essence tissue, Essence diapers, Essence kitchen towels, Essence serviettes. So when you see those products in Pick n Pay and Spa and everywhere else, they come from Outnet. So we said to ourselves, let's invest in manufacturing. And we started off with tissue. Don't ask me why. So now we still have a knock and drop business in Outnet, but it's a very small wing of the business. So now we've diversified and we try to grow it now into a more like hygiene company. So this is our strategy. Again, remember I said remain focused. We're saying let's grow it as an hygiene company. So we've got tissues, serviettes and this. So we've got plans now to bring new products this year. We'll bring some new products, about four new products by the end of the year. And I don't know where the future goes. So that was Outnet, that's how it started. And then, again, you see, when you've been in business for a long time, you always have a desire to expand in other sectors. So an opportunity came for us to invest in reinsurance. Somebody came to me and said, I've got a business idea, and it's a reinsurance idea. I didn't understand what it was. I said, how does it work? They told me, worked out figures. Figures made sense. I was skeptical. I was like, what? Okay, fine. How many? 3 of us, 4 of us, let's put money together. I said, okay, I'm in. We put in money with 3 other people. We set up what you now call Prima Reinsurance, which is listed on the Lusaka Stock Exchange. And we did an IPO. We raised 30 million kwacha capital on the stock market. So it just started from there. Somebody came with an idea. It was not my idea. I bought into the idea. Okay? I just believed it was an idea that would work. I saw the figures, I saw the thing, and I said, okay, let me go into this. So I took a risk. And then another opportunity came 2016 with African Grey Insurance. We negotiated and we bought in and we bought the majority shareholding in African Grey. Again, I didn't start the company, but I realized it was a good company and we could invest in it, and therefore we invested in it. And we changed management, we brought in new management and did all sorts of things, and now we're trying to grow it. So sometimes this is how your business grows. Sometimes you don't start everything yourself. If you have an opportunity to buy into an existing cantemba, buy and grow that cantemba. If you have an existing opportunity to buy in a company that is already existing with other people and stuff like that, and they are looking for somebody to put in money, go in if you have got a bit of money. Don't always think that you have to start something, and like I said, don't always think that you have to own the company by yourself 100%. African Grey, I think we control 65% shares. 35% is held by other people, and we are comfortable with that. When we did Prima Re, when we did the IPO for Prima Re, we had 25% shares in Prima Re. But when we went on the stock market, we decided, no, we're not going to invest more money in this, we'll dilute ourselves. So we allowed the big boys, the NAPSA and all these other guys, they came in and bought shares. So we diluted ourselves, but we are number 5 biggest shareholder in there. So I'm happy with that because every year I'm guaranteed a dividend. And that's what I want. Just a dividend every year. I don't have to get involved in the running up and down and so that's how the diversification came in. And we're still looking at other opportunities. I mean, Blackdot, for one. 2016, Blackdot was broken down into 3 entities. We separated the PR and activation to set up Stimuli. They have their own team and they're growing. We separated the research and media buying department and set it up as an independent entity. They're also running on their own and they're doing well. So we realize that if we keep Blackdot as one big thing, sometimes it's not good for business. Allow these other specialists, and I'm saying specialists because they are specialist units, allow the specialist units to grow on their own. And that's what we've simply done at Blackdot. So out of Blackdot, 3 companies were bought. And then of course Brandwise also came in, So, yeah.
So I'll ask Mr. Kombe one more question. You can get your questions ready. Someone will be going around with a mic. Mr. Kombe, will you sell me 5% of the 65%? No, I'm just kidding.
Everything is for sale.
Oh, okay, then we'll talk after this. But, it's very clear that there's a lot one can learn from you. Do you mentor startups, young entrepreneurs?
Yes. I have a couple of them who come to my office and we spend some time together. But because of time pressure, so one of the things that I've actually thought about, which hopefully I will do, hopefully by June, is to start a mentorship class for 6 weeks. So we'll do a program for 6 weeks, and those who want to come for 6 weeks, you attend the class for 6 weeks. So it will look at different issues of business and all the kind of issues, personality issues, and how you can succeed in life and in business. So it will be like a 6-week program. After that, you don't need to talk to me again, and then we'll have another group that will come in, because I personally have a lot of passion for young entrepreneurs. I had some young guys who came to my office recently, they phoned me up and they just said, oh, we'd like to see you. And I said, who are you? And they just said, oh no, we got your number from this gentleman. We got the same church with you. I said, oh, church, okay, come. They came. And two brilliant young guys. And they said to me, look, we're running a motor repair company. We've been struggling. We're trying to do this and that and what. We need support. Can you help us? Can you? So we spent 2-3 days talking about things. Eventually, I told my guys, look, please, they are Zambians, they are young, they are energetic. Go, take your cars there. So from that day, all Blackdot vehicles and Blackdot staff vehicles go to that garage. And they just, because I'm a strong believer that, we as Zambians should own the economy.
Absolutely.
If we as a people sit and watch foreigners grab everything and leave us with nothing, and all the profits are being taken out of the country, then why should we be proud people? We can't. We just people who are full of poverty and watching. If you go to Kenya, the Kenyan economy is owned by Kenyans. Companies like ShopRite went there, they failed, they were chased, because in Kenya there is what they call Nakumatt, which is a Kenyan retail outlet. And they just thought ShopRite. Here is Nakumatt, our own. They closed down. They went back to South Africa. Okay? You go to Nigeria. In Nigeria, you never do business unless you have a Nigerian in your company. The Nigerian must also own at least 40% of the business. Otherwise, you will never ever do business. Here in Zambia, we welcome foreigners with wide hands and we give them contracts. And when a Zambian comes with a better proposal, we say, Abanabo, give that one. And we can't progress like that. We embrace imported products, even imported peanut butter. You look at your peanut butter, I eat butter from there. Man, this is local peanut butter. You are creating employment for your own brothers and sisters.
And the money stays here.
And the money stays here.
Yes.
But you are looking down on this peanut butter. And you are thinking, no, I just want that peanut butter from whatever. And we have such a negative attitude, such negative energy, that we don't stand up and support each other. Imagine if I can support those guys with their motor repair thing. They will increase the number of employees that they have. And then they will also do other things. Before we know it, all these young entrepreneurs, their business will be flying. But no, we would rather work with foreigners, we would rather buy foreign goods, we would rather put our own people down. And that is one of our sicknesses, not even weaknesses, sicknesses as a people. And I feel bad and I feel sad about that. So I'm one who is very keen to try and help where I can help, and if I have time, yes, I'll spend time with some people. Like I'm saying, we'll start a program, and since I have nothing to do from Blackdot, not that I have nothing to do, by the way, that's not true. They were asking me, now that you're retired, so will you leave the hub? I said, no, my office is here. I'm not going anywhere. Just passing on responsibility. So yes, I do that, and I'd love to do that.
So I really hope we'll all be buying tissues, diapers.
Essence. Go buy SS diapers.
SS diapers.
Talk to me about baby soft and what. You'll be shocked that SS is actually softer than baby soft. But you just said, no.
Because this change actually starts with us. It starts with us. We've heard the story, and it would be sad if we went back and we continued with taking money outside. We shouldn't even blame the investors. We're the ones who are doing it. We're enabling it. So let's support the local entrepreneurs.
One thing I want you to talk about, I think you must have missed it. When we talk about some of the things that really affect us in terms of success, basically there are three things. When we talk about boundaries, there are like three types of boundaries. The first and the worst part boundary is the internalized boundaries. And these are boundaries that we create ourselves as individuals, okay? Because we don't have self-belief in ourselves that we can do these things. You feel unworthy of yourself. You feel you were not born to be successful. If a girl ditched you, you feel you can never laugh again, okay? And so you create these boundaries in yourself, which limit you and limit what you can do. Even when you can get up and say, I can do this, but you think about all your history, me, I was born in DC, and you think that's what you were born to do. And I'll tell you a story about one of my employees. When I met him, he used to work in a butcher shop. So every time we go there, my wife will buy meat. He's the guy who used to cut the meat for us. 5 kg, boss, 5 kg. So we got to know each other because we're always going to that butcher to buy, butchery to buy meat and stuff like that. One day he took a step and he comes to me and he says, boss, I'm here, you see, I sell meat, I'm in this butchery, but actually I have a grade 12 certificate. And these are my results. But I've never been able to go to college because of financial and all these things. If you can help me with a job that can just help me, and then I can go to college. So I didn't have a job, and here's a guy that doesn't have any experience in anything. So I said, okay, let's think about it, let's see if an opportunity comes. So an opportunity came and I said, look, there's an opportunity for you to be a driver. Can you take it? He was very happy because from cutting meat to being a driver, it's a big step. He says, but I don't know how to drive. So I said, okay, don't worry. I'll give you some money to go drive. So paid for him, went, did his driving, gave him a job. And trust me, he's working at our office today as a driver, but as we speak, he has just finished his level 2 marketing at Zikas, I think. Okay? So he had his self-belief that this job that I'm doing today is not what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. And then he looked around and he said, how can I get out of here? He didn't sit there and mourn and cry. He acted upon it. He approached me. Probably I might even have been the 10th person he approached. Maybe the others said, no, sorry, Kulibenji, no, sorry. Then came me. I said, okay, I'll let you know when an opportunity comes. So, you need to understand that if you create these boundaries in yourself, there's nothing anyone else can do. If you don't believe that you can be a multi-millionaire and you can own big businesses, then no one else will believe you. No one else will believe in you. So you need to get these boundaries out of your system and wake up and realize that there's a bigger dream out there. And you are the only person who can do it. No one else can do it for you. If you're sleeping at home every day, waiting for Now there's a term, John is all your wife. Waiting for your wife to come from work and bring food on the table. And you are like, no, there's no employment. There's no employment. That is your own creation. Get out of that bed and go look for a job. So that's the first level of boundaries that we have. The second level, of course, is the environment in which we work. We exist, the economic environment, the political environment, and all these environments, they create boundaries. Lack of capital, high expensive interest rates. All those things create boundaries for us. So we have to find ways of overcoming those kind of boundaries. And this is where things like partnerships come in. Instead of you going to the bank to borrow, you go to somebody with a business idea who can buy into your idea and you don't have to borrow money. They buy into your idea, they give you money, you run with the business. So going to the bank alone is not the only solution. But having a good idea and putting it on paper, having a good business plan can attract somebody to invest in you. And therefore, you overcome some of those boundaries that you have. The third boundary is boundaries created by people, other people. Those who tell you that you can't do it. Those who tell you we were born like this. You can never live in Kablonga. My agriculture, you will go. They tell you. Like the ones who were telling me, Wamona Muzako, 9 12, Sakara 93 years. Those are the other boundaries that you need to overcome, because you need to be able to act on those boundaries and put them aside and say, this will not happen to me. If you failed, that is you who failed. It is not me who failed. If this happened to you, it is this, it's not me. Okay? And therefore you start creating a positive attitude towards what you are supposed to do. And stop listening to a lot of negativity, and people are pulling you down, and people telling you can't do it, and and all sorts of things. So those three boundaries, you will face them. At every level of business, you will face them. There's no way, and there's no time when you say, my business is successful, I don't have boundaries. They'll always be there. They'll always be there. Okay? We face boundaries. Even to get some essence into some shops, we are facing challenges. Some shops, big retail outlets, they can't take our tissue because they've got too much tissue. And I look at them and say, but this is all South Africa. The only tissue you have for Zambia is Sobi and this other one. And they said, no, we can't. So we told them, okay, you will come one day. When Essence will be the only brand that everybody wants to buy, then you will say, no, please, can we have your, So, but there are, again, other good retail outlets that give you opportunities like Pick and Pay and Spy and the others. And they're so welcoming, and we're already there. And we've got all our products there. So you will always find those boundaries in life and in business.
Well, thanks for that, Mr. Kombe. Questions?
Yes, talk to me.
Yes, I'm in my third year, and I actually submitted my portfolio to Blackdot.
My guy.
Unfortunately, I'm retiring.
Actually, for interns. interns. Okay, so I would like to know from you, as Blackdot, how you go about pitching ideas, for instance, to companies. How you go about pitching? Do they come to you, or do you go to them? Do you create ideas then go to those companies, or do they recognize you and then follow you for those ideas that you have for them? Thank you.
It's a two-way thing. Huh? In some cases, you are invited to pitch. Okay, organizations will put out a tender, whether it's a formal tender or it's just an invitation from the company, shortlisted, then they invite you, say, we've got this, we need this, can you come and pitch? Then you pitch against other agencies. But also, we do make our own effort to go pitch for those clients that we want to have. Those who may not give us business, or they are waiting maybe with another agency, and we think we can do much better, so we go to them. We don't wait for them to come to us, because they may never come to us. So we go and sell ideas to them. Okay, so we do both.
Evening, boss. Nyumbu from Blackdot. You had mentioned earlier on that you had a starting point. So where you went from walking to taking buses and taking risks. So what I wanted to understand is the risk appetite that you had at that point in time, where you wanted to achieve a lot of things. How do you turn that into inspiration or direction for your own children who are growing up at a different starting point where they may have more things available to them? How do you motivate those who are starting and they may already have resources, capital, or leadership and information available to them? How do you mentor that generation?
One of the things to understand is that, see, when you're in business, it doesn't matter how you start or where you start from. There is no guarantee, and believe me, there is no guarantee that if you inherit a business that's already doing well, that business will be sustained and to grow. There's no guarantee. Okay? Because your father may have started a business, taken to this level, and you come in as a son. Unless you value the principles of business, you will not succeed. Because the first thing that you're going to do is that you will believe that all the sales revenue that comes in is your money. And the moment you have that belief, they sell, bring. They sell, bring. No, I want to go for holiday. I want to do this. Because when your father was around or was running the business, you used to go for holiday. So you think you can also just be doing. So you need to understand that you can take over a very successful business and you can actually collapse it within a month or 2 months. Unless you have people who can help you to understand the basic business principles of integrity, accountability, okay, and of being focused, and teamwork, management, and systems, then you can be able to say, I'm starting off here and I need to follow these principles of business. There is no shortcut. There is no shortcut in success. We've seen even big companies in Zambia that were big. Ask me where they are today. Gone. Why? The son took over. Yeah. The father never passed on the mentorship to the son. And therefore, he did not even understand what the business was all about. Even if people give you, it's the same principle. I can say to you, you are my son, or you are my brother, or you are my what? Here's 100,000 kwacha. It doesn't mean automatically that because you've got 100,000 kwacha in your hands, your business will be better than the guy who's got 10,000 kwacha. Because if you don't know what you're going to do with that 100,000 kwacha in the first place, you may just drink it and waste it. Or you may go and the business, you go buy things that, like in this age now, where people are using iPads and music is so much, MP3, iTunes, and then you decide that no, I'm going to do this business. I will start recording cassettes or CDs or whatever it is, things that are outdated. and then nobody buys them, your business is grounded. Because you didn't understand the basic principles of business. Who is your customer? What are their needs? Where are they found? Okay? And what do you need to sell to them? At a profit. Not charity, at a profit. Okay? So that you can sustain the business. And then you need to understand what are the key elements in my business. Integrity is one. You need to be of very high integrity in business if you're going to succeed. Shortcuts, deals, avoiding taxes, smuggling things will not sustain your business. Because they give you a false image of your profit, and yet you've not paid taxes. You've not paid your duties, and you're like, nakula napaka profit. You've not made profit. That is fake profit. Count your profit after you brought in your goods from South Africa. You've paid your duties, your transportation, and then you now sell. You paid your rentals and everything. Then you say, this is my profit. But if you are doing shortcuts and doing that, and then you say, I'm making profit, I'm making profit. The day ZRA will close that Kahoot, then you are done. So integrity is key. And you need to understand those simple basic principles of business. Integrity, accountability, responsibility, management, good management, and systems and processes. Those are key. If you do that, your business will grow. So my son is here, and he knows what I'm talking about. Fortunately, he's at the company where they make the tissues. He's not the MD. No, he's not.
That's good.
Because he doesn't have the skills to be an MD. So he has to learn. Start from there. I wish he had started right at the factory, touching them. but he's learning. So he's not an MD, but he's there. That way, he can be able to understand the business and probably do much better than I have done. Okay, that's my hope.
Yeah. It's a good hope.
Good evening, Mr. Kombe.
Good evening.
I'm David Sisula from Zero Foods. My question is, I'm surprised you didn't talk much about it. It's over the competition. In most cases, on the Zambian market, you find that when you start up something innovative and you drop it on the market, and the other people see that it's quite juicy, they've got some bit of capital around, they'll come in with cheap imitation products, cheap in quality and cheap in pricing, to an extent where you feel or you find yourself being unsettled, almost being kicked out of business by those cheap products, to an extent where you even want to compromise and calm down. Advise me how to go about with such type of competition. Thank you.
The issue you are talking about is an issue that we faced at our net. Because when we started doing the tissues, we already had big players on the market like Sophie. They've been in this country for years. They've been doing that business for years. We've had Baby Soft on the market. And what did the South Africans do? They cut the price. And so we found ourselves in a situation where they cut their price and we couldn't afford to cut the price. So the thing that we did, we just said, this is our operational cost. This is what it takes us to build our business, to grow this thing, to make this thing. This is what we will sell it at. Yeah. If we are not going to sell 200 tons a month, we are fine with 70, 80 tons. But we will not compete with them on price. We will not. Because the moment you try and compete with them on price, you start losing money. And when you start losing money, you start going bankrupt. They have a bigger capacity. When you talk about Baby Soft, they are supplying the entire Africa. So they can just say Zambia, for the next 2 months, dump the products. And then what do? I should also... No. I have to buy raw materials. If I do that, I'm out of business. So what you need to do is, one, stick to your own business setup, strategy. You've got your own strategy. You understand your costs and your what. The only thing maybe you can try and do is cut down on some of the expenses that you have, but find also some niche markets. There's always a market out there. Yes. Trust me, when we load our trucks to Eastern Province, they come back empty. And we just go. And the guys come back with cash. You know, our friends don't bank money. Eastern Province is run mostly by our Indian friends. So they don't bank money. So you take your truck, they pay you cash, and they take your goods. So we've discovered that if we try and focus on Lusaka, it will be a challenge. Let's try and go outside Zambia. So when you outside Lusaka, so when you go to Kasama, you find Essence. You go to Western Province, you go to Northwestern, you go to Southern, you find we go like that. We've never tried to compete on price. We try to compete on quality. We've improved our quality. We've got very good tissue, which is very soft. Okay, very nice kitchen towels and everything. We try to set that standard at least, so that people don't say, your product is bad and what. But in terms of price, we've just said no. And what happens eventually? These guys, they come back and they up their price again, because they realize these charts are not changing. They're not, you see.
Next question.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Mr. Kombe. My name is Nick Wright. My question is, maybe I'll start with coming from advertising background myself, and I've been around advertising for the past few years. I want to understand and know how you have kept the advertising part of the business going, because I know over the years a lot of companies, even when you used to be Saatchi Saatchi, DNC, a lot of companies that were there in advertising have closed shop and they don't exist anymore. What has kept you going? What has kept you going to being Blackdot today? What has sustained your advertising business to date?
One of the things is I have passion for advertising. I think it's something that I have a lot of passion for. Just as a hobby or something. I just love creativity. So, and that makes me wake up every morning to go for it. Just to see how people create things and see stuff being done, and just the industry. And yes, a lot of companies have closed down over the years, but the reason why they've closed down over the years is because some of them did not try to be innovative. They continued operating the same way they used to operate 5 years ago. And you go to them, they give you odd ideas and things like that. So at Blackdot, we've tried to be innovative. As we speak now, we talk digital. We've gone digital. We've got a digital team in place, highly skilled digital team. They're doing a lot of digital stuff. If you look around our country and ask yourself how many agencies are doing that, there are very few. We've got a production team in place and they're well trained, So we try by all means to say, let's create a one-stop shop for our clients. If production is not doing well, maybe digital will help, or strategy will help, or maybe creative design will help. Some people were just doing creative design and just press adverts. That was all they knew. And so they were limited as to what they could offer the market. So in business, you have to be innovative. You have to transform every now and then, bring in your services, look at what's happening, bring people with certain skills so that they can improve on your service levels. Okay? And of course, watch your cost and watch your everything and the team that you have. And so, for me, that's what has kept us going. It's basically that we've been able to attract a good clientele base. Some of them who have been with us for some time, some of them who come now and go and tomorrow. We even have a little power sometimes to say no to some clients. You get a client, a big client coming to you and you say, sorry, we can't work with you. You know? And it feels just nice. That you can do that. You know? So, you need to be innovative. Okay? But I think one thing she said is that when you come to Blackdot, I'm the oldest at 50. I think after me, the next oldest person, I think is the finance director. Understand, he's not creative, he's finance. So you need some chap who is, I think he's maybe 45, 46. After that, all the other creative people, they are probably 35 going down. Most of them are 28, 29. And when you look at the entire team at the hub, I think we're like 60 people at the hub. 60, including brand-wise and everybody, we are 60. The average age, I think, is like 25, 26. They're young people. They are full of ideas, they're energetic, they are hungry for doing things, you know. Eventually they'll move on, other young people will come. That's how it works, you see. So you need to understand the dynamics of the industry you operate in. If you are running an accountancy firm, the trend will be different. In an accountancy firm, you need a lot of mature people, because people need to be sure that, you know, the figures are correct. So, yeah, so depending on the industry you are in, it also dictates the kind of people that you must have. So don't go up there and say, I'm starting an accountancy firm, I'm employing 22-year-olds, or this and that. Don't, because it'll just mess you up. Okay, so you need to know what industry are you in and what does the industry entail in terms of service levels, in terms of, you know, people that should go and meet clients, sign the documents, and in terms of building confidence with the clients. Because if you take a 23-year-old boy to go as an auditor, others will doubt that and say, nah, we need people with experience. But in our industry, we welcome everybody. You know, you come there, you find people with mohawks, mohawk hair, some come in mohawk. I'm the only guy who is smart. You get all sorts of. Because we are creative people.
Yeah.
So we need that free spirit to operate, to succeed, to fly. You know? Don't come there and come with, no, you must all be in suits. They will look at you like, what? Which environment? In the bank, yes. Not at Blackdot.
So just a quick announcement. We'll take the last two questions. And this is why. To allow you to meet and mingle with Mr. Kombe, you can still ask him your questions after we officially close. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but that costs you 50 kwacha.
Good evening, Mr. Kombe. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. It's very inspiring. I would like to find out, what is that one book that you would share with a young person that you have read that has helped you in your journey?
Books. I've read a couple of books, but there's a book I've been reading. It's called Changes at You. It's a brilliant book. Okay, it's a book you must read. It's not your novel kind of book, but it's a book that teaches you about how to overcome things in life. It's a very great Christian book. You know, it's not all about Jesus. It's got very good life issues in there that you can tap into.
Good evening, senior entrepreneur.
Senior. He's only 50.
I'm only 50.
I'm Charles Perry. I'm a farmer and upcoming CEO for Self-Help Financial Options Limited. We have all heard from you and we've gotten a lot of inspiration. Now, considering your mentorship program, how are the entrepreneurs out there located in Dundumwezi, located in Chipata, located in Wilson, how are they going to get inspired with your stories? Are you planning to extend your mentorship program to far-flung areas? And the other thing, what are you doing to promote the Zambia buying campaign since you're involved in the media advertising? Thanks.
And for you as a farmer, you know, you need to understand also that one of the things you need to think about is that when you're doing farming, don't just focus on maize, because we don't have rains anymore. So you need to start thinking broadly about other crops, rain-resistant crops that can grow. You also need to start thinking about processing those things so that you add value. If you can grow cassava and pack it nicely and brand it, what's your name? Charles. You can call it Charles. Huh? Or if you want to be thinking, just go to Bapiri. Bapiri cassava. You know, Bapiri rice. Huh? Start thinking about those kind of things. Don't just think of, I'm a farmer, I'm just plowing and I'm taking. No. Start thinking, how can I add value to this product? How can I make it more marketable? Do you know that when these guys who sell rice, when they plant rice and they sell it to another person who packs, probably they make like 100 kwacha per 10 kg or whatever it is. The guy who packs that rice and puts a label on it makes probably 300 kwacha from it. He makes more money than the guy who actually planted the rice. But what has he done? He's just packed it and given it a name. What you call branding, huh? That's all he has done. You've taken the entire risk to grow the rice, but he's just packed it and branded it. And he makes more money than you. And you still live in the village, still planting. So we need to open our minds to start thinking about value addition. If you are growing tomatoes, you've got a farm, start thinking of how can I turn these tomatoes into tomato paste, into tomato soup, into tomato what, into tomato. Start thinking like that. Don't just take the tomatoes and dump them at the market. Start thinking of how can you add value to these tomatoes. Okay? Then you'll generate more money.
I must confess that yours is a very inspiring story to all of us. But I must note that I feel that you've left out one very important detail that some of us might be interested to find out on how you moved from the private sector and later found yourself as a senior private secretary to the president, and later how you moved from there and to where you are now. I think you have not touched on that. Okay.
I didn't think that was important.
Yeah, because we're talking about pushing boundaries for success in life.
Okay. Okay. Basically, what happened was this: 10 years into the advertising industry, as an entrepreneur, you get sometimes fatigued. Okay, so I got fatigued. 10 years. And then, at that point, believe me, I was ready to get any job even if they didn't pay me for it. Just to get out of the industry. Because I've been in that industry for 10 years and I was like, nah, it's too much. I was running out of ideas, I was And then came this opportunity. The president called me and said, I've got a job for you, can you come and work with me at State House? And I jumped to it. I told my wife, I'm leaving. And she was like, but there's no one to hand over, there's nothing to do. And I said, you are there, you are taking over. She said, no, I don't know advertising. I said, you are taking over. I'm going to State House. So I left just like that. And believe me, that was one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in my life. Business-wise. It was one of the biggest mistakes that every time I look back, I tell myself, I should never ever do that again. Because if you are going to lead a business, you must ensure you've got the right team and the right people to take over and manage it. You can never manage a business remote control from State House. You can't. And so, if you are working for a company, whatever company you are doing, and you think you can manage your business, your small business, through remote control, and it will grow, you are wrong. You need to decide whether to be an employee or to be a business person. You can't be both. One or both will suffer. That's what happens. So I went into State House, served as senior private secretary to the president, served as chief analyst for press and PR, being the president's spokesperson, putting words in his mouth, even things he didn't say, you say it. And he looks and says, David, this is what I said. Yes, Your Excellency, you. And it was an interesting time in my life. It exposed me to a lot of things. I traveled the world. I met people. I met different leaders. I traveled the countryside. One of the things that it did to me, I saw how poor our country is. Poverty. When you're in Lusaka, you complain about potholes, but what? Go to Shamombo. Go to these places, then see, then come back. Then you thank God you're in Lusaka. And you thank God that you have a job. Because there's poverty out there. So I was able to see the countryside, you know. And one of the things that I benefited from that was that I was able to learn about leadership. Sitting next to the president every day, talking to him every day, making decisions is not an easy thing. You are always in the firing line. We used to call ourselves classified casuals. Because every time you walk into the office, you are not sure if you still have the job by the time you leave. And you know, Levy Mwanawasa was a different man. So you were not sure what to expect. And this incident happened one day. We had a function. The function was like 4 o'clock. I did his speech, and I went to him about 3:15. And I said, Your Excellency, your speech for the 4 o'clock event. And then he looked at me, and then he said, so you brought this speech for me to read? I said, yes, Your Excellency. I have everything, all the issues there in the speech. So whose speech is this? But Your Excellency, it's your speech. I've just written it for you. So you didn't think that I needed to put input in my speech? No, Your Excellency, I understand the issues, and I've done that. So you think you are clever than me? No, Your Excellency, it's not that I'm clever than you. No, Your Excellency, no. So, okay. So you think you are very smart. I should just take this speech, go there, read it. No, Your Excellency, it's a draft. You can make changes and whatever. And he says to me, he says, take your speech. At 16 hours, you will go address those people. I'm not coming. At 16 hours, you are the president. You go and you read your speech. I'm not coming there, out of my office. So I took my speech and walked out. So I went back to my office, sat. What do I do? Time was ticking. 10 to 4. He calls me. Bring your speech. Humbly, with my tail and my legs, gave him the speech. Just wait for me outside. Went through the speech, comes out, let's go. And we came out, we walked, the two of us. He went, he read the speech, addressed the people. After that, they clapped, they were happy. The farmers, it was a farmers thing. The farmers union people were happy. The small scale farmers, hey, Mr. President, good. Then he says, oh, David, that was good, huh? And I said, yeah, you did well, you said. Boundaries. No way of boundaries. And we walked back, and he was very happy, and I was like, yeah. And I gave him the credit. Your Excellency, you did very well. Yeah. So it exposed me to a lot of that training, which has been very useful to me, as an individual. So when I look at things today, I look at things in a very different light because of that experience. So, yeah, I have different perspective about life, about people, about leadership, because I'm coming from that environment and I understand and I know what happens, good or bad. So I know some of the challenges and I also know some of the mistakes that leaders make. So at least it has helped me in my leadership skills. And then of course 2007 actually, I realized that while I was enjoying this good life at State House, flying the president, Saatchi then was actually going down to the verge of being closed, bankrupt. It was not doing well. The clientele base was almost zero. The staff levels were low, the morale, they were not paying salaries, there are challenges, and here I was sitting in State House and looking from outside. And one day, and I remember we were in New York, I walked up to the president and I said, Your Excellency, may you allow me to resign next year? I would like to go back to my business. And he looked at me and says, why? I said, no, Your Excellency, because I can't save you. I've saved you 7 years. I can't save you under these circumstances. I feel it here. My business is closing down. And I will have nowhere to go back to. When you and I finish this tour of duty, I will have nowhere to go back to. And he was like, no, my term is finishing in 3 years. By then, maybe you'll be this, you can be that. And I said, no, Your Excellency, I appreciate whatever plans you have, but I have a very strong thing that I need to go back. My mind is not at peace. I don't feel good anymore about my business, and I have to go back. And so he said, okay, David, if we go back to Zambia, and you still feel strongly about leaving, then you can write to me, and then I will authorize you to leave. 2 weeks after we came back from New York, I wrote my letter of resignation, and I said, Your Excellency, please allow me to leave. hesitantly. I said, I want to leave in June. He said, no, you leave in November. I said, yes, Your Excellency. At least you've allowed me to leave. So that's how that whole thing happened. Then, unfortunately, like all of you know, sometime in September of that year he died. By the time he was dying, believe me, I already packed my pictures, everything were not in my office anymore. I was mentally and physically and emotionally ready to go. Because I was just counting down, like November I'm going. So I started spending a lot of time at Saatchi Saatchi. I started spending time trying to prepare for my going back. So the lesson I learned from there was that sometimes you need to know really what you want in life. Certain opportunities come, they help you, they give you some experiences, but you need to know who do you really want to be, where do you want to go, okay? If you stay in the comfort zone, that comfort may be temporal. And for me, I realized this man, 3 years from now, he won't be president anymore. So 3 years from now, I may not have a job, basically. Okay? And I said, I need to go put my house in order. So you must also start asking yourselves those kind of questions. Whenever you are working, what really motivates you to stay on? Are there things you've planned to do that you are holding on, you're holding off because of your job? Maybe you need to start thinking. Maybe it's time for you to make that move before others take up that opportunity. Maybe your job is your obstacle. And believe me, coming back to Blackdot in 2009, after I left State House, I think we've achieved much, much more than what I can even imagine. Why? Because I went back, I committed myself, I dedicated my time, my focus, my energy, my everything into that business. I turned it around. The moment I went back, clients that had left started coming back. Because they realized, oh, this guy is in. So now things will be better. Service levels will be better. Everything will improve. He's a serious guy. And that's what business takes. People must trust you. People must have confidence in you. They will give you business. As long as you achieve those two things, trust and confidence, you will never go wrong if you do those two things. So basically for me that's what happened, and here we are today. Talking about Blackdot, this, that, this. I would have stayed, continue flying, living in expensive hotels, but tell me, those expensive hotels and those flights, man, they don't pay your bills. That's the reality of life, huh? They don't pay your bills, they don't pay your retirement, they don't pay your... So there are benefits that you enjoy, but they cannot be translated into money. There are a few good benefits. You just feel good about them, but you can never actually say, no, that air ticket, give me the money. You can't. Okay? I hope I've answered your question.
Mr. Kombe, thank you so much for coming to Startup Grind. Your final words?
My final words is just to encourage each and every one of you. If you have a dream, go for it. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do it. Don't let anyone make you believe that success is only meant for certain people or for foreigners, that only foreigners can own big businesses in this country. Don't let people make you believe that. So if you have a dream, go for it. All you need to do is make that one step, just one step towards that dream. take a step. If you sit in your sofa and you continue dreaming and you do nothing about it, that dream will die with you. Okay? So I would like to see a lot of Zambians be successful. I would like to see a lot of Zambians in business, that we can be talking about people in our country that look at that Zambian guy. This is what they've achieved. Not these Zambian guys who you're always clapping for after he made a deal not that. Not quick money kind of thing. You must be talking at people who've succeeded, and you can see, you can trace their success, and you've seen where they've come from. Not a guy who wakes up today because he had an order. What you call the entrepreneurs? Yes. He had an order and suddenly he's flashing money everywhere. And you get motivated. Yeah, look at... No. That money will not last, because when the guy who gave him the tender is no longer there, that's the end. Okay? So we need to start talking about Zambians who've grown businesses. And you can see their businesses, and you can track their businesses, and we should be talking about a lot of Zambians, not 3, 4, 5 people. I was reading something the other day, but I think it's part of fake news. But it was exciting to read. And they were showing the top 10 richest Zambians. The first 5 are all Zambians of foreign origin. And I think the next 5 are Zambians who are indigenous Zambians. You know? How they rate them, get the information, I don't know, I don't want to know. So, but it was interesting for me. I was looking at this and said, but how come we don't have in this fake news list a Zambian who is number 1? We must have that. And it can just be you. Okay? And this is what happens in life. Today you're looking at David Kombe, tomorrow we'll be talking about you. And you'll be way, way ahead. And you achieve much, much more than some of us have achieved. And you turn around and you ask yourself, is it me who did this? Yes, it is you who did that. Because you believed that you can do it. Okay? So I would encourage you, quit your jobs.
Mr. Kombe, thank you so much for making time and coming to Stand Up Right. Thank you so much for supporting the cause. We celebrate you, we celebrate your success. And can we just, appreciate him?